Genesis chapter 37, 창세기 37장. Jacob lived in the land where his fathers had stayed, the land of Canaan. This is the account of Jacob. Joseph, and a young man of 17, was tending the flocks with his brothers, the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, and his father's wives, and he brought their father a bad report about them. And now the Israel loved Joseph more than any of the other sons, because he had been born to him in his old ages, and he made a richly ornamented robe for him. And when his brothers saw that the father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind of word to him. Joseph had dreams, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, listen to his dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field, and when suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it. His brother said to them, do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us? And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he had said. Then he said he had another dream, and he told it to his brothers. Listen, he said, I had the dreams, and this time the sun and the moon and the 11 stars were bowing down to me. And when he told his fathers as well as his brothers rebuked him and said, what is these dreams you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow down to the ground before you? His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. Now his brothers had gone to graze their father's flock near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, as you know, your brothers are grazing the flocks near Shechem. Come, I am going to send you to them. Oh, very well, so he replied. And he said to them, go and see if all is well with your brothers and with the flocks, and bring word back to me. And then he sent him off the valley of the Hebron. When the Joseph arrived in the Shechem, the man found him and wandering around in the field and asked him, what are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for my brothers. Can you tell me where they're grazing their flocks? They are moved on from here. The man answered, I heard them say, let's go to the Dothan. So Joseph went after his brothers and found near the Dothan. But they saw him in the distance. Before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. Here comes that the dreamers here, they said to each other, come now, let's kill him and throw him into the cisterns and say that ferocious animals devour him. Then we will see what comes of his dreams. Then Reuben heard this. He tried to rescue him from their hands. Let's not take his life. He said, don't shed any blood. Throw him into these cisterns here in the desert, but don't you hand it on him. Reuben said to this, rescue him from them, to take him back to his father. So then Joseph came to his brothers, and they stripped him of his robes, the richly ornamented robes he was wearing. And they took him and threw him into the cisterns. Now the cistern was empty, there is no water in it. As you sat down to eat their meal, they looked up and saw the ravens of the Ishmaelites coming from the Gilead. Their camels were loaded with pieces of palm, and the mirrors they were on their way to take them on to the Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, what will you gain if we kill our brothers and cover with blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay our hands on him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. His brothers agreed. So when the Midianite merchants come by, his brother pulled Joseph up out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelite who took him into Egypt. When the Reuben returned to the cistern and saw Joseph was not there, so he tore his clothes. He went back to his brothers and said, the boy isn't there, so where can I now? Then they got Joseph's robes, slaughtered the goat and dipped in the robe in the blood. They took the ornaments, the robes back to their father and said, we found this, examine it to see whether it is your son's robe. And it is my son's robe. Some of precious animals has devoured him, to Joseph, and severely torn to pieces. Then Joseph tore his clothes, put on the sackcloth, and mourned for his sons many days. For his son and his daughter came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. No, he said, in the morning will I go down to the grave with my son. And so his father wept for him. His father wept for him, and meanwhile the midnight sold Joseph in Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officers, captain of the guard.